Own It Magazine and Publishing. My name is Marisa Budor. I am the editor-in-chief, and forgive me because I am exploding inside of all that we're going to talk about today. Taking center stage and owning it with me is serial entrepreneur. She is August 2023's Own It CoverGirl, and she is also a contributing writer. This woman is amazing, and what I've gotten over the past few months of just watching her is that she gets the bigger picture. And what we're going to focus is on the method to the madness. Own It Magazine focuses on specific topics that are strategically aligned throughout the course of the year. And so as we close out August and we shift into our kids going back to school, also going back, leaving vacation and shifting into the closing out of the year, we really want to talk about the method to the madness. What is all of this about? She's a serial entrepreneur. She's got her hands in so many different places. But why is that? What mission is she on? And I just want to unfold that with you during this interview. And I really want you to pay close attention to what we talk about. And so taking center stage and owning it with me without further ado. And she's taking time out of her vacation time. And she's also celebrating her anniversary. And so we want to say happy anniversary. Iris Wright, take a center stage. Hey,
Hi.
beautiful.
Hi.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your vacation, and we're not going to keep you. But we really want you to share and drop some nuggets. For those who didn't see one of your past interviews as our cover girl, give a little insight of who you are, what you're all about, how you're owning it. And then let's just dive into the big picture of your serial entrepreneurship. So share with the people who you are, Iris.
Hi guys. I'm Iris. I live in Newport News, Virginia. I'm originally from Eastern Shore, Delaware, Maryland. But I am a serial entrepreneur. I own several businesses. I speak. I am an author. I wear a lot of hats: wife, mother, grandmother. Um, but some of my companies I built, well, all of my companies I created in from passion, and to help build a legacy and generational wealth. So one of my companies, which is dear to me, Caring Hearts Telecare. So I have Virginia's first virtual and hybrid home care company. So we're growing that, and I wanted to have something that was very innovative and different from everybody else. I did not want home care to stay the same. Being in healthcare for 13 years, just noticed a lot of change. A lot of people that deserve to be home out of the nursing home, and I wanted to be able to see how we could fix those barriers, what were stopping them from being able to be home, and how can we learn how to keep them independent, because some things that we can catch early, so we can keep our people independent so they don't have to be bid bound or forced to be put in the nursing home. So that's a big goal of mine, is just educating our community on how that happens, because all of us are going to get older, and we're going to need some type of help. And we need to start putting things in place for that, and, and position ourselves for the worst, or for that to be able to happen. Because it's very hard once it happened for us to position it in that way. So I'm a big educator on that. So even through this journey, I have learned so much more to what we're doing, that I can, just share with our community and be able to help people. So that's a big passion of mine. So I'm a big advocate for the senior community. I'm also an injustice survivor. So I have my injustice movement. Um, and this injustice movement just happened in 2023. It was something that was not planned to happen, but it ended up happening. So I became an author this year as well. So I'm in several anthology books and have my own books. And I just became an author in January. So it kind of wowed me too. That wasn't in the cards. It wasn't planned. But I noticed that when we go through things in life that we have to properly heal to be able to move and go to the next level. Even if we have dreams and goals that we're working towards, sometimes if we're not mentally ready, or if I want to say the Lord has something that He wants you to be able to do, you have to be ready to be able to do it, achieve it. And I think that's where I was in denial at for a long time. So writing my first chapter in my book really took me to another place that I didn't know that I was going to be, and helped me in the process of healing. So I wanted to share that with other people that's out there in the community that are going through the same thing I went through, or something even worse than I went through. So I wanted to be able to share that. So that's why we created the Injustice movement and started doing the Injustice anthologies. It's important that we learn to heal from, we can't change what happened to us, but it's important that we learn how to find the positivity in everything, to find our identity, and to be able to heal and evolve from it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the key because it holds you bondage. When you don't get healed, you are staying in that. And then also too, when you go through the healing process, the triggers get less and less powerful, right? They lose their power once you go through the healing process and it doesn't take you all the way back. Because
Yes.
once you experience a trigger, triggers are no joke. They can send you plummeting back. So it's so important, and writing is a part of that process of healing because writing begins to acknowledge, it confronts, and then it allows you to also process what you've experienced, and then grow from that. Grow from that. And then
Yes.
the movement part of it is helping other people. When you realize, how good it feels to be freed and healed. No, we don't like all the experiences that life throws our directions, but once we can heal from it, move back and regain our lives, that's a good feeling. And it's a feeling that's worth helping other people too who really want to. Because you got to want to be healed. You got to want to move on with your life. You've got to be willing to let things go, even though they don't meet your level of vengeance or your level of justice, so to speak. You got to be willing to move on and move forward. And so I want to talk to you. One, I want to applaud you because most of the time we don't want to talk about the pink elephant in the room. And growing older, getting older, and not being as flexible and fluid, and being able to do all the things that we once wanted to do or did do, as we age, is a part of life, is inevitable. And to be prepared for it is just wisdom. It's just wisdom. It's foolish. I sent my daughters a message today, and I had sent them, some information. And I said, I'm not sending this to you out of fear. I'm sending it to you because it's wisdom. My mom
Hmm.
taught us how to be prepared in her absence when she was getting ready to leave this earth, and by doing that, it helped us to fulfill her vision for her passing, and everything that was going to be associated with that. And so we need to have more of those conversations than we are having of Jordans and the latest trends. We need to be having these needful conversations. So I really applaud you for looking at that. And just think, how many people don't think about being like in hospice or being in a nursing home or physical therapy that does not necessarily require you to have to be in the facility, the hospital, the physical fitness facility. You could be actually home doing those things with the proper resources and support. How often do we not realize that that's really an option? We feel like, okay, they're in the hospital. Now they're moved from this hospital to a lesser grade facility, and so on and so forth. And then we're just going along with the process, not realizing that if we take control of our health care to whatever the degree it is, even our life insurance policies that offer services like such as this, living living while you're still living, the medical support that you need. That's built into some life insurance policies. We have to become more and more knowledgeable of what our resources are out there, and take advantage of them. And you're doing just that. You saw a need, and you developed a service that could provide those needs, and that's a part of entrepreneurship, right? Innovation, and
Yeah.
just becoming more and more aware. I want to dive into your serial entrepreneurial shift, and help people to understand the bigger picture. So say there's an entrepreneur out there who who likes to do multiple things. We're always told when we go to coaching and we go to training that you should focus on one thing, right? Right?
Mhm.
We're told this. That's the thing. Focus on
Mhm.
one thing, one target client or population of people who have a need for what you offer, and master that. What makes you, um, what makes you, in spite of what the common advice is in business, what makes you decide that serial entrepreneurship is the best avenue for you?
Well, one, I think with a lot of us that are serial entrepreneurs, um, we like to do multiple things, and we have so many things going on in our minds that we have to like keep track of. I know myself, I have a notebook next to my bed. So I wake up in the middle of the night when I think of things and ideas to look into. And two, me, I think sometimes I get a little bored doing one thing,
Wait a
even when
minute.
I'm doing school.
Before you say anything else, you said, I get bored of doing one thing. I'm going to tell you what I wrote down. I said, you want to be unleashed. That's what a serial, like
Mhm.
when you are doing multiple things, is because you're unleashed. We are designed with multiple gifts, multiple talents,
Mhm.
multiple, but I said, one thing is, it gets boring. Doing one thing gets boring, and it's non-motivational.
Yes.
So
I think that's a big thing, and even at a job, um, most of the time, if we're in that entrepreneur and we don't even know it, because at some point I didn't even know it. I'm just trying to find this perfect job. Um, and I think some way God, like if I find a job that I think I may like or get a little comfortable at, something always happens to he's saying, you're not supposed to be here. So let's keep it moving. Um, but I would get bored and want to do things. So even at a job, I will learn multiple positions and not want to be in the same area all the time, to keep me motivated, to keep me engaged. Sometimes I think when we master things, we get bored. So in this entrepreneurship is kind of the same way. I don't want to say I get bored because I love everything that I do, but it's okay for me to work here and do this for a little while. This is done. Let's go to the next one and let's go and get this done. What we're thinking here, because our mind is constantly moving. So I enjoy it. And then another reason I think is important, which I think COVID showed us that it's important for us to not keep all of our eggs in one basket. It was a lot of people, whether they're worked a job or entrepreneurship, they were stuck on one thing. And a lot of those people lost their homes, had no financial stabilities. They didn't know how to do other things. And the people that are more like us, me, I can say, okay, we're down in this area. This area's up. So let's keep building. So I think people need to get you everything don't everybody don't have to do everything the same way, and everybody's not as traditional. So I think COVID was a big wake up call to everyone, showing that you need to learn something else and you need to know how to have a backup. And I always tell my kids, always keep some coins in your back pocket.
right.
So that comes with everything you do. Always have something to go on if this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And in entrepreneurship, you're going to see that like one thing may not work. When I opened this company, I opened the first company and I said, oh no, I don't like this way. We're going to shut it down. We're going to restructure. We're going to reopen. And this is how we're going to do it. But you have to find what works for you, not for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's a big thing in entrepreneurship. And I always tell people all the time, everybody's not your client. Everybody's not your partner. Everybody's not your networking team. You got to find people that believe in your vision, that wants to help build with you. Everybody, to me, and I know everybody said anybody can be an entrepreneur, but it's a reason that everybody can't be an entrepreneur. You have to have the mindset of being there. And I think that was with me with growing, that he said, okay, I'm ready. You're ready. Open up doors for me now.
Right.
But I may not have been ready 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had so much going on.
Yeah, it's interesting because when I took my position at Princeton University, the first thing that went through my mind, because I had worked for myself for 10 years, the first thing that went through my mind was like, okay, girl, how are you going to make it? Because you're
Mhm.
used to having your own schedule. You're used to today, it's you're up at 9 and you're out and you're doing work. Tomorrow, you're not doing crap for the whole entire day. And I had control over my schedule. And so going back, I had to go back on a mission, knowing that that was going to be temporary, not realizing it would be 11 years, not even thinking that far out. But I went in saying, girl, how you going to do this? Because like you said, you get bored. When you are gifted and talented in so many different areas, and gifting and talenting doesn't mean art and performance. Gifting and talent is just how do you sculpt things together. Your
Yeah.
gifting and talent is about strategy. It's about being able to see the bigger picture, projecting out. And so when you have a mind that's like that, it's hard to harness it and minimize it because it's not meant to be minimized. It's meant to be maximized. And
Mhm.
so it's difficult. So that's why, and you know what? Because our gifting and what we're called to do is bigger than us, we can buck back a system that keeps trying to tell us no, stay in your lane. We can buck back a system and say no, I'm unleashed, right? We can do
Mhm.
that. We can do
Yep.
that. We can do that. Keep moving and we're not even flinched by what other people think or say because our vision is looking at the bigger picture. And so I'm saying that intentionally. I'm saying that because I look at your businesses and I'm saying to myself, there's a method to the madness. So we're going to shift gears. So we talked about, home health care, taking care of that part of your business. We talked about writing and leading into healing. Not only are you a co-author, but you're also a visionary and an anthologist. And a best-selling visionary author and anthologist. And so that's incredible, especially when you're just starting out. And like I said to you, and I'm going to say it to you, my daughter used to get upset with me. She's like, Ma, stop saying that. But you are a phenomenal leader. I've watched you. I've been able to sit back and watch you communicate with your co-authors. You are very strategic. You lead with strategy. You offer strategy. You recommend that they pursue it without holding back. I've watched you speak to them, and I sit back in awe and say, wow, I love this because it just excites you when you're in the room with you, Iris. You just get excited to be in that room, and you see the passion and the love and the inspiration, and how you see your people that you're serving in a bigger way. You see them where they can be, not where they're presently at, but where they can shoot to. I say that to say shifting gears into the mortgage businesses and helping people with credit and helping them to even, I read today about the down payment money. And so that's another aspect of your serial entrepreneurship. Talk
Mhm.
about that. And I'm going to let the audience know I'm in pursuit of partnering with you in this capacity because I believe in home ownership, the biggest investment you'll ever make and the highest return that the average person can make is home ownership. It really leverages you on a whole different level. So those people who are comfortable with just renting, this is an eye opener. So share with the audience about that aspect of your businesses.
Yes. So I knew at some point that I needed to be in real estate. I needed to learn it. Um, and because that's something that, I wasn't taught, generational wealth. As I'm coming into entrepreneurship, that's the biggest way into generational wealth building and passing things down, having things ready for your family, and understanding it, and being able to help other people. So when I was saw this opportunity to become a mortgage loan officer, which I was already looking into purchasing the class and everything, but when this opportunity with Capital Federal Credit Union and debt cleanse came up, I said, "Oh wow, it was a no-brainer. Let me go ahead and
Right.
join." And then when my leaders that are leading us and teaching us and educating us and inspiring us, when they're really, really good Christian people, and when they're pouring into us, that made me even more excited to be in the room, and not just that they're worried about, oh, we're selling something, but we have a
Mhm.
program called 75 for all, because minorities, we are the lowest in home ownership. So when the owner of Capital Federal Credit Union and Cleanse talk to us and how they put this together, because they wanted everybody to be, not just one race, not just this person or nationality. They wanted all of us to be in home ownership. It really inspired me, and I said, okay, I'm in the right place.
Right. Right.
So this program here, not only do they open doors up for us to build multiple streams of income inside of it, but we're able to help people. I mean, with very, very low income people that think, "Oh, I don't make enough money to be homeowners." We're able to help people with down payment assistant programs. We're able to help people if they want to refinance or own an investment property or whatever they want to do. We're able to say, "Hey, let us help you get there." And then they said, "Okay, maybe your score is a little low. Let us help you get where you need to go, and then we're going to educate you on how to keep you there." So to me, that was mind blowing, because now we have a team that's going to be able to help with getting those scores up and getting you ready into your place. I'm going to be able to help you find your place and get everything going. And then we're also going to be able to help and educate you if you want to pursue investment opportunities or different other things. And maybe you need an extra stream of income. I had a lady that texted me today and said, "Iris, I want to go ahead and purchase my house first, and I want to join the business too, but it's some things that I need to do before I can put my attention there." So I'm meeting with her Tuesday to start her home buying process. So I'm just happy to be in that. I'm just happy to be part of it, to be able to not just educate myself, my family, but my children, my grandchildren, and be able to help other people too, to see that you can, that house that you want to purchase, you can get it. So I just think this has just opened up so many ways. And I think most importantly is that I genuinely care, because a lot like a lot of the people that come to me. I had the same problem. I had to
Right.
go through the same walk. I was there, and it was very frustrating, because I'm like, "Oh my God, I work so hard. Why can't I buy a house?" you know. And then you see all these other people, doing things, and they're not, and don't want to say they're not working as hard. They probably are, but I'm just trying to figure out, how can I do it?
Right.
And I realize now that God said, I have something a whole lot bigger for you. We not only want to help you buy that home, we want to help you build generational wealth, and we want you to understand what you're doing. And that was a big call for me. And then when my mother-in-law passed, it was a lot of things that happened with her property there, that she didn't talk to us about, and I don't think she understood.
Yeah.
Um, with her home. So we end up having to sell her home and all that kind of stuff. And they let her take out extra mortgages and everything, knowing that she could not afford it because she was on a fixed income. So and that happens a lot in the older population. So, my goal as I'm going through this, not only only am I'm going to be able to help people in my community, but I own a home care business with people that own homes and people that are going through things. So advocating for them and just helping them, and they know who to call that I can trust to ask these questions to, is really big in what I'm doing and growing into my companies.
That is incredible. That is amazing, amazing. And that's the bigger picture. So when I talked about the method to the madness and I talk about strategy, what you're doing is you're helping the entrepreneur position themselves so that they can take their businesses to the next level because they have credibility, they have
Mhm.
capital value, right? Because your home has value in it, has equity in it. Not that you need to use your
Mhm.
equity, but just knowing that you have that on your net worth. When you look at
Mhm.
your net worth and you put all your assets together, it gives you credibility. It tells your bank or anyone that you're going to do any kind of financial business with, this is what you're bringing to the table. These are your assets. And home ownership, we don't talk about it enough in regards to, some parents, some communities, you're not leaving your parents' house until you're buying a house, not you going and renting because that's what happened to me. When I it's so crazy because even at a young age, I knew I was like, we are spending 13 grand a year giving somebody else our money when we should
Mhm.
be owning. This should be going into the equity in our own house. And that's what
Mhm.
propelled us to stop renting because I do the numbers. I'm always doing the numbers.
Yep.
I am always looking at numbers. And then I'm also comparing value. So if I'm purchasing something, what is the value? What's the cost of it? What's the value of it? Whether it's an emotional value, it's a ROI I'm looking for, return on my financial, my money investment. What is the value point of this? And is it worth the purchase? Is it worth me putting my money into? And when you look at that, you begin to be, when you come into home ownership and when you come to owning things that can have a return on investment, you have a different mindset. And what you're doing here is the bigger picture, is you're teaching entrepreneurs not just to hustle, but to get grounded and start creating empires. And not empires in the little slangish way of doing it, real empires, because that's what
Yep.
generational wealth is building an empire. And as we talk about having a kingdom mindset, that's building a kingdom, right? Because kingdoms are generational. And so this is huge what you're sharing. And I'm so, like I said before, I am I am tooting my horn saying I am very, very proud of the work that you're doing and honored to have you in the Own It family, not just our cover girl, but just to have you in the Own It family. You deserve that position, and you wear it very well. And I'm so very, very proud of you. Listen, give the audience some closing remarks. One, how can they partner and do some of this business with you? One, and how can they get connected to you? How can they follow you? How can they support you?
Yes, I'm on all social media platforms as Iris Wright or author Iris Wright. You can partner with me in many ways. We have anthologies. I know we're closing into Injustice Volume 2. We do have Injustice Volume 3. We're on call for authors, and Injustice Healthcare Edition. We also have, again, our mortgage loan officers. We are looking for to build a team of mortgage loan officers. You will be licensed in all 50 states. You don't have to take any SEs or state exams or anything. You will be licensed in all 50 states. Um, that is one great way to build another stream of income, to get educated and get in there to, as in the building wealth and to partner and working together. Um, Also, in my home care, you can also work with me in there if you have a family member or a loved one, and you're looking for some type of services, whether you want a nurse or aide to come in. You don't have to. We have technology. Maybe you just need to make sure that your loved one is taken care of and is safe and have someone monitoring them. We do have the equipment to be able to do that, and we can do that in all 50 states as well. So, but I'm on all social media platforms. Iris Wright, look me up, Instagram, Facebook, share, follow me. Um, join us in one of our books. We have 3 books with Onet coming out. So join us there. Uh, in his presence, unleashed, confident and sexy. So, it's the ways that we can network and work together, and
Yes,
just empower each other. So
yes, yes, yes.
I'm excited.
And I want to tell you, audience, she's in all three of those anthologies. That's why I'm saying she's incredible because she's showing up, and each time you write, you just never know who you are ministering to, who you are restoring hope to, who you're regenerating, who you are restoring a dream to. You just never know who you could be speaking to. And I just love it, Iris, because you never count it robbery to show up in all those capacities and help folks see the bigger picture. And this wealth building thing is so important because it's not about the money. It's about the fact that money answers all things. When you're in crisis, money can get you a boat. Money can get
Yeah,
you a plane ticket to a loved one who's going through. So money is just not about vanity. It's also about necessity. And so
necessary.
that's what's so important about the work that you do. And again, I can't say it enough. I am so proud of you. Such a beautiful, not only are you highly disciplined in what you do, you just have a beautiful spirit, such positivity. You're not overly serious where you crack smiles, you're loving. And that's just beautiful. That's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. And so I just want to say thank you so much. I want to get you back to your vacation, back to celebrating your anniversary, and enjoying your family. So we want to just say thank you so much for spending time with us. Audience, get in touch with her. Don't miss out. This is if you're watching this and you're watching it all the way to the end, it's a divine appointment. And so make sure that you take advantage of that and connect with Iris, and make sure you make things happen in your life. We're out. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.